Welcome in to Hit That Line. The Legal Gambling Counsel is back, going to week 3. I'm your host, Zach Berry. Joining me, Austin Gray. Ben Woodhouse is here as well. He will come back. There he is on video. Fellas, we had ourselves quite the doozy of a week 2. As a crew, it looks like we were, what, let's say 18 and 9. I think that's correct.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, 18 and 9. We hit at least one money line.
It's
Two
just
money
Um,
another day
lines.
at the office.
two. Oh, Fresno, yeah.
Yeah.
Fresno and South Florida. So after a lackluster week 1, we are back over 500. We love to see it. So gentlemen, welcome in. Let's get into some week 3.
It's going to be I'm hoping that the slate is friendly to us again. And I was looking at the lines earlier, and there's some real sucker bets out there. One being Oregon less than 4 touchdowns against Northwestern after Northwestern's coaches, whether that's real comments or AI, still probably used by Oregon. Did y'all see that?
He what?
Oh,
What'd he
huh.
say?
What was it?
There was a meme going around Twitter or somewhere that was um basically said that it was like the Northwestern coach saying, and I'm paraphrasing, something like, I mean, like, they're going to have to play it. It was like I mean, who are they kind of comment. It was clear bulletin board material. Whatever. I mean, Oregon just won by 66 against Oklahoma State. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it was
Yeah.
AI, but I'd still put it in all my players' lockers. Who cares?
Hmm. Yeah, there are quite a few. We've got some letdown spots for certain teams with some big numbers. We'll get into those, I'm sure. But as far as the actual slate, I mean, I know that we'll all be dialed in on Thursday night, NC State at Wake Forest. That's going to be must see
Riveting.
TV. Uh, but in all seriousness, um, you've got, I think Clemson, Georgia Tech's interesting. I'm really anxious to see how Clemson looks as they've just kind of looked okay so far. Um, it's 2 games, so I mean it's hard to really pinpoint who people are right now. But Clemson has not lived up to what most people thought. Obviously, we've got Georgia, Tennessee at 2:30, and I mean as far as ranked on ranked, you've got South Florida, Miami, where the Bulls are all of a sudden 18th in the country. And that's pretty much it as far as ranked on. Well, we get A&M Notre Dame. That one's going to be fun. And I believe, yep, that will do it. We've got a little revenge spot with Duke Tulane. But as far as week 3 slate, what jumps out to y'all?
I like the Clemson line, to be honest with you. It's crashed down 4 points. Give me the Tigers there based on the line movement. Um, I know that they've looked average so far, but well, I say average. They started slow against Troy and lost to LSU. We don't know how good LSU is, but assuming LSU's good, I like the Clemson Georgia Tech line. I like big line movements like that going against them. And now that it's crashed down 4 points, I would go ahead and take that and lay 3.5 with Clemson.
Yeah. How
Like,
much? I was just going to say, how much are we really concerned about Clemson versus Troy? I mean, is that they're down 60
should not
nothing?
be the barometer, right?
Yeah, that's. I mean, they're down 60 nothing. They scored 27 straight. It's hard for me to go too hard in on a team who's just not really concerned about that game, right? They had a bad loss the week before, not a bad loss, but had a heartbreaking loss. Big game. They've got an ACC game coming up the next week. It's just hard for me to look too much into that, right? You got out of there with a win. It wasn't all that close in the end. To me, that's enough, right?
What and like as far as like some of the other ones, I mean, some of
Georgia
the one,
laying 3.5 in Knoxville seems kind of low.
yeah, like I guess we can go ahead and jump into I guess one of the bigger games of the weekend. Um, yeah, why is Georgia not favored by more here? I know it's not you know, your older brother's Georgia. I mean, it's not Georgia from a couple years ago, but I, why? Like, is
Yeah, I don't
Neyland's
know. It's
Neyland
weird.
gets rocking, but I don't know why this is only 3.5.
Well, it's also early afternoon kick, right? I mean, I know it will still be rocking, but it's
Yeah.
not a night game.
Yeah.
Tennessee missing two starting corners as well. I know Georgia doesn't exactly set the world on fire from a passing game standpoint, but I don't imagine Tennessee is super deep on the back end. Um, from a
I'm going to
defense that
go
was
ahead and
already,
lock in 3.5, not to interrupt Austin, but
yeah, I want three flat. If it ever pops three flat, I'm absolutely hammering Georgia at 3.5. I think it's a stay away from me. Heavy lean to Georgia. I don't know what Tennessee has done to earn this respect. Not that Georgia's played anybody either; they haven't. But Tennessee beat up on a hapless Syracuse team in week one. Syracuse needed overtime to beat UConn last week. So forgive me if I'm not
Yep.
impressed by their effort in week one. I, I still think Georgia's got the far superior roster. Am I
Yeah.
confused about that? I mean,
No.
the portal, yeah, like the portal can only do so much. Georgia has stacked top three recruiting classes, what, 4 years in a row, 5 years in a row?
Yeah. I mean, it's like a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Not to be the contrarian here, but I mean, if this game was at Georgia, this line indicates it'd be about 10.5, right? You think three and a half for home field. That seems about
I don't know if
right.
I'm not giving 3.5 home field. I don't know, man. I'd love to know what bookmakers are giving home field now. I think Tennessee's is going to be among the highest in the country, but 3.5 that's a number for an experienced Georgia team in an afternoon game.
yeah. Yeah.
this is a touchdown line. This should be 6.5, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Like I was wondering why is it not at least a touchdown? Like what does Vegas know?
Where did it
And
open? Do we know? What was the opener?
Open at five and a
it
half.
opened at five
Five
and a
and a half.
half.
Yeah, I don't know. It stinks. But if it's
Yeah,
three
see,
flat, I don't know how you could take three with Tennessee. If it ever gets to
yeah,
three
right.
flat, I think it's only Georgia. It's only ever Georgia.
I
I
and
can't
like
imagine it ever gets to three.
It may not.
And like Austin said, like third week in a row, Tennessee's missing its two starting corners. At
Yeah.
some point, that's going to matter. And I'd venture to guess that it's going to matter this weekend because, like Austin also said, it's Georgia and they definitely have dudes over there. So I think they're going to do a lot of, 2, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, two, three
Mhm.
times, suck everybody in, take a shot.
Yeah. And look, I take nothing from Georgia's first two games. Kirby tends to play possum in those games and work on the run game or work on their short passing game. Like he doesn't run it up against bad teams. He never has. Uh, so I don't, their efforts against Austin P and Marshall or whoever they played, like I don't think that's suggestive of what this is going to look like.
I don't either. I'm like as the season goes along, you can kind of pay attention to Vegas numbers, and they really closely align. Basketball, especially, they really closely align with Ken Palm. You can look at Ken Palm, and it's going to be within a point either way. They
Mhm.
pretty closely align with Bill C. and his S&P Plus numbers as the season goes along, but they're so volatile at this point. Currently, today, Bill C. would have Georgia on a neutral field, a 1 point favorite over Tennessee, and that's what he would have us in Georgia as a pick 'em. By the way, uh,
That's
and
also wrong.
no, it is wrong. It is wrong. And that's what I guess my thing is like Tennessee just absolute curb stomps these teams last week. And I think that it probably juices the numbers. I mean, it definitely juices the numbers in their favor. Georgia
Yeah.
doesn't curb stomp an FCS team. It doesn't juice the numbers in their favor. So I guess that's why, but clearly the bookmakers are already factoring that in. Otherwise, they'd have Tennessee as a favorite because they're playing at
Mhm.
home and it'd only be a 1 point line. So kind of think the lines kind of tight. I'm not in love with this Georgia team. Good defense. I just don't know what they have on offense. I think Tennessee's got a pretty good defense as well. You said they're missing the corners and stuff, but it is in Knoxville. It's the first big game. I don't know. It's first big game of the year for both teams. It's hard to see it. It's hard to see it.
I think it comes down to me just trusting Georgia
Georgia
as
and
a
their coach.
program and their
Yeah.
coach as a program more than Tennessee at this point. Look, Tennessee made the playoffs last year, and Heupel's been a good coach there. Uh, but are you really look? I'm not saying Georgia has a world beater at quarterback either, but are you really trusting Joey Aguilar against a Kirby
Yeah.
Smart coach defense?
How much of an upgrade in hindsight? I don't know. I'm not in love with Aguilar, but Ian Aliava is bad for at UCLA. Like I just don't
Yeah,
think he's gonna
they
do it
they are
long.
bad. They are bad. He can't save
They are
them.
bad.
Yeah,
No. He's so far, and we're not getting get too much in Louise. We're not talking about UCLA, but UCLA should work on him getting better at football because I don't think that you can. That should be their number one goal as an athletic department. I don't think that you can just be really really bad in today's world, even if you're UCLA. I don't think you can be because what does UCLA offer that USC doesn't offer if USC's good,
yeah.
right?
Well, in that
I
conference
mean,
too,
the Rose Bowl, I
that's a
guess.
conference that cares about football. Like
Yeah,
you can't be the West Coast Rutgers. Like that's just not going to work.
it's
Yeah.
not exactly right. That Bill C's got them at. Let's see if I'm going to scroll down here to find them. 80th, right ahead of Northwestern, and 2 spots ahead of Ohio. Funnily enough, just behind North Carolina. But yeah, that's a bad football team. Again, that's just the Amaliava. I think that Tennessee
I,
upgraded, but I get it. I get it. Go with Georgia in this game. They're just a better program. I think they have a better coach.
yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people were making fun of them last week for not covering its Austin P, but if you look at the box score, I mean, Georgia had 421 yards and Austin P had 196. So I
Do
mean,
we do we really care? Like
And
No,
Kirby
you
doesn't
shouldn't.
care. Kirby doesn't care.
no, I mean
uh,
just
2 or 3 years ago,
the purpose of them not covering and how everybody always likes, oh,
Yeah,
they couldn't even
and the
cover
game's
against
moved up
Austin
2
P.
hours for weather as
And
well. Like,
I think Kirby has never covered as a favorite of 38 or more. I think that's the stat. Never. So he just doesn't care to, man. They work on the run game and stuff. They work on their field goal kicking and shit. Like he finds stuff to work. He treats it like a
Okay,
scrimmage.
here's here's another good nugget. Georgia has won by a collective score of 137 to 57 in Smart's 4 games against Josh Heupel. Lay the points.
I mean, that's amazing.
I,
uh,
if Tennessee had their corners and a better quarterback, I'd consider it, but I'm not trusting a guy that couldn't get to a bowl game at App State to
look, I
beat
think
Kirby
the
Smart.
only way that Tennessee covers here is if Georgia just doesn't have the firepower to run away with them and they win like 24-21 or something, but you never feel like Tennessee can win. It's like a 3 point game that
Yeah,
Georgia's just constricting them the whole time.
Yeah.
But uh, look, these teams recruit on a different level. They've got different. This is just not the no. The 3.5. I like Austin's thinking with, get three just in case the 24-21 does happen. But and I don't even know the total. I can't imagine it's a lot more than 50. But
49 and a half. I mean, it's
yeah,
exactly what you'd expect. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
under be a
Yeah,
good play there.
I might circle back and lock this one in with you, Ben. This feels like a methodical Georgia win.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
just suffocate them.
yeah.
Ugly football. Um, all right, let's move to Clemson at Georgia Tech. Um, I saw like a projection for the point spread was like just right under 3. Uh, Reopened as high as 6.5. Markets pulled it down to what, 3.5 now?
Mm-hmm.
The total is what, 53.5.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the betting market's kind of soured on Clemson as well. I mean, didn't look great against LSU. K. Klubnik looked pretty pretty average in that game, and LSU had a good game plan. Um, but yeah, I mean, all the preseason Heisman hype and Clemson being a national championship contender, and then just laying an egg, and then down 16-0 to Troy. I mean, geez, we sitting in Kroger Field, and then I start hearing just people all around me talking about that game. Kept an eye on that one for a hot minute. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean Haynes King, Georgia Tech, you get them there on the flats, you got a chance to muddy
Haynes
this one
King
up.
is still in college. How old is this guy?
Yeah, he's like fifth year.
He's been playing a long time,
I
man.
yeah, I didn't realize he was as old as he was. I thought he was like a redshirt junior, but no, he's
Haynes
been
King's older than Jackson Dart, and he's going to play for the Giants Sunday.
All
uh
right,
He's
let
older than
me.
Jaden Daniels, and he's in his second year in the NFL.
Yeah, he's about to get another contract
but
next year. Let me
but
lock
look,
in.
I was just gonna say Georgia Tech impressive on the road against Colorado, and then Gardner Webb, whatever. This one's interesting. I don't know if I'll touch it, but I'm gonna be locked in to watch it.
Well, speaking of Haynes King, he didn't play last week, right?
That's
Uh,
right.
What did he say?
So is he
That's
healthy?
right. He was banged up against Colorado at the end of that game,
he
but
didn't play last week.
I don't
guys,
think he
he's a
played last week.
gamer.
Yeah.
I would need to know that he's out before I would believe he was out for
Here
next
we
Wednesday.
Yeah.
go.
I'm going to lock in Clemson here.
Brent Key said, "quote Looks good, feels good. We'll make a determination this weekend."
What's the
Either
three
way.
and a half?
Come on, yeah, it's 3.5.
Yeah,
Yeah. Similar to before. These teams don't recruit the same player.
Yeah,
They just
true.
don't. Clemson recruits like an SEC team. Clemson's like Ole Miss. The last time Ole Miss went to Georgia Tech, what happened? It's like a
yeah,
Yeah.
literal thrashing. It was what did the term Austin use the other day? Ragdoll or something?
Yeah.
That's what. That's the type of difference in talent these teams have. I like Haynes King and I like Georgia Tech, all that kind of stuff, but no, this is different. Two different talent pools. Lay the points.
Tax brackets, baby.
I could see Clemson coming out here and just I should turn the water off Georgia Tech, and that's not to say that they're going to beat them like 52-0. I think it could be low scoring on both sides. I'm locking in under 53.5.
I
I
will
don't.
ride with you as well. If we can get, because surely there's a 54 out there.
Like
Yeah, I'm not.
24-3 final.
Yeah, just something like 21-10. I mean, it doesn't even get
Yeah.
close.
I got a 50.
21-13.
I got a 54 and a half.
54 and a half. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lock all day. If that's a actual
That's at
book, like
120.
reputable book.
yeah. It's on
Okay,
Uh,
well,
ESPN.
let's do 54 then. 54 flat. I'll
yeah,
lock in
we'll do
under.
50.
Yeah, there's Bailey.
I don't think it's going to matter. I mean,
Yeah.
this is one of those games where you look at and you're like, how did we ever think that Georgia Tech could beat Clemson? And they're unable to get anything going on the ground. Haynes King has no time. You look up at the end of the game, Clemson's got 7 sacks, 10 hurries. Like
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's offense is going to have no rhythm at all.
None.
I don't see any way this gets to 50.
And look, in further
Yeah.
support of the under angle here, the under argument, Clemson's offense hasn't exactly looked great
No.
either.
No,
So
they haven't.
I think it's going to be a defensive struggle where Clemson shuts down Georgia Tech's run game. I don't trust Haynes King to throw the ball. And on the other side, Clemson, they're kind of stuck in the mud too. It's like a 20-10 final, something like that, 24-10.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
28-17 still gets you there.
I
Yeah.
think I think this is going to be a game where Clemson's D line is pitching
yeah.
a tent in the backfield.
And we heard how good Clemson's D line was all off season. They were not good against LSU, against some a bunch of new guys, a bunch of newcomers for LSU. They weren't good. They've had to hear that the last 2 weeks about this Clemson team.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of Dabo's thing at this point is to kind of start off slow, fall off the national radar, win a whole bunch of games on the back end, get back on the national radar, have all off season of hype. I feel like they've done that 3 of the last 4 or 5 years now.
Got him. He's got him right where he wants him.
That's exactly right.
I would be. I'm not saying Georgia Tech would win outright or what. I would give them much more of a shot if Clemson had blown out Troy. But like the Trojans got Clemson's attention. I bet this week of practice is hell
Yeah.
up there in
Yeah.
Clemson. They'll be ready for Georgia Tech. Um, ACC opener, yeah. This one might get ugly pretty quick. Um, so yeah, it's a good pick. I like both. I like the spread and the total there. I like both of those. Um, all right, let's move over to the bell of the ball right now. South Florida Bulls, Alex Golish, after going into the swamp and handling business. That was pretty fun. Um, yeah, I thought DJ Lagway was gonna already have the Heisman won by now, a la Kenny Trill Hill, but nope. Billy Napier's still doing Billy Napier things. And number 5, Miami. I'll be damned if Mario Cristobal didn't just say, "By God, I'm just going to recruit 9 straight classes of really good offensive linemen," and now look what we got. Um, Carson Beck looked good against Notre
Mhm.
Dame. Um, it's amazing what
Dude,
happens when you have people that'll block for you. Um, I think South Florida comes back down to earth here.
yeah, yeah. If it was 17 flat, I would lock Miami in. I think this is the worst spot of all time for South Florida
Yeah.
flying high after their Super Bowl of Super Bowls. I mean, those guys, dude, like all week they've been reading their press. Miami, uh, look, they looked. I thought Miami, after watching, I know we have small sample size here, just a couple weeks of college football. I think Miami was the best team in the country over the last couple of weeks. Their showing against Notre
Probably.
Dame was excellent. Now, Ohio State's got a legit argument, obviously, the way they dominated Texas, or at least shut down Texas's offense. But I think that's
Yeah.
about it. I think the class of college football right now is like Miami and Ohio State. I don't think
Yeah.
South Florida is anywhere in that, like any, not even in the same universe. And they got to be pretty satisfied at this point as a program. So if you could catch the flat 17, I'd like Miami. I don't like the hook. The hook scares me just because South Florida's offense, you could imagine a back door being open. They play up tempo. They have athletes. I'd hate for it, a 42 to 20 to turn into 42-27 or something and you lose the cover. Is that right? I'm trying to do quick
Yeah.
math here.
Yeah.
You get my
Yeah.
point.
You're right.
So yeah, I think Miami wins. I feel much better about it at a flat 17, but I'm with you, Zach. I think South Florida comes back down to earth there.
I've got to look. I'll lay them and lock it in. South Florida not only beat Florida, but they also had the Boise
Yep.
win. So two of their better wins in the last decade this year. I don't think South Florida's bad. I just think it's a bad spot for them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way they remained focused in practice following up the Florida game to play Miami, who will be ready for. They're going to make a statement here against South Florida. I think they win this one by 4 touchdowns. I don't think this line is right, so I'm going to lay them and lock it in.
I
Yeah,
don't think that South Florida could beat Miami. I'd be cool if they did. I would love that. But this is their season. This is it. South Carolina State, Charlotte, UNT, FAU, Memphis, UTSA, UAB, Navy, and Rice. That's the rest of their schedule. If they, I see what you're saying. Getting up 3 weeks in a row is difficult, but this is it. If they get up this week and play well this week, run the table, they're going to the college football playoff. So I
I don't
They
even
could
think
think they
lose
have to
this
win
week
this
and
week.
make the
Yeah,
college football
agree.
playoff.
no,
Yeah,
that's right. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Which is why I think the back door is there because
Mm.
I think that they're going to be playing full out so that at the end of the year, like you said, Austin, if it is 42-27 at the very end of the game, even if they scored at the end, no one's going to be thinking that. They're going to be thinking, oh, they hung close with Miami and they're 11-1 and they're in the college football playoff. I'm not going to lock it in. I like USF here. I really do. That's a big number. I Miami, are they as good as we thought? I don't know. I don't know. They're very good against Notre Dame first week.
Yeah, they looked really
They're
good against Notre Dame.
they're very good against Notre Dame. I'm not going to take anything at all from the Bethune Cookman game. But I've
No,
seen Miami play really well before and not sustain it. They've got a big game coming up next week against Florida, and then they got Florida State. Um, this is not the whole rest of their schedule. Yeah, I think that they kind of see the little brother in South Florida, and they kind of want to swat them away. But I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be 13, 14 points, kind of right in there.
yeah, I'm kind of sensing a theme here with all these games where it's a program that recruits at a very different level than the other program. Um, yeah, I wouldn't
Mm.
touch it because of the points that Nick made, where Alex Golish is going to keep firing. He's going to keep shooting. He's not going to stop. And I think that Miami might just kind of put it in cruise control and just try to win by 20, 23 points. Um,
And
yeah.
Cristobal's good for a boneheaded decision at least once a game that could cost him the cover.
Yeah.
He is out.
All right, another ranked on rank matchup here. We've got the Texas A&M Aggies traveling to South Bend to take on Notre Dame. It looks like this line is still 7, 6.5. I see 6.5. Um,
It's that 7 because of the juice on 6.5, so 7.
man, I don't really know. I feel like Notre Dame should handle this one. Um, Marcel Reed got banged up last week. They said he was fine to come back in, but he didn't. I'm pretty sure that A&M is down at least one lineman. Um, I don't know. I just kind of feel like this is a game that Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman will have circled as, hey, we don't play in a conference, so like when we get these games, like we got to make them count. Um, I think that uh, I mean Notre Dame has had a week off too to get back after Miami and just kind of reset, get back to homeostasis. So I think Notre Dame maybe backdoors this one. I feel like it'll be close, and then you get a pick six, or Jeremiah Love breaks free and you get the cover. But I don't know if I'd touch it, but I like Notre Dame in this spot.
I've got a strong lean to A&M here. If I could get the hook, this is another one that I would lock in with 7.5, but the hook is gone. Maybe it will come back later in the week. I mean, the numbers matter. I know the hook seems insignificant, but when you have a total of 49.5, every point is going to be valuable here. So the hook is extremely important in a game that should be a grinder. I think I like Texas A&M's quarterback in Marcel Reed. I think I like him a little bit more than CJ Carr at this stage of Carr's career at Notre Dame. I think A&M's offensive line is every bit as good as Notre Dame's is, and their defensive line may actually be better. I think Notre Dame has taken a half step back on defense with the loss of Al Golden, a defensive coordinator. He's now with the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, so I think they're a little worse. They're not bad at all. But that Miami game got squirrely, man. It turned into a shootout when I expected Notre Dame to sort of control Miami or at least neutralize Miami at the lines of scrimmage. That didn't really happen. I think they were kind of overpowered there. I don't know that A&M's lines of scrimmage are as good as Miami's, but I think they can hang here. And if I were getting over a touchdown, I think it's sort of an auto play with that total at 49.5. I think this is going to be a meat grinder.
Notre Dame also doesn't really beat people more than that, right? A lot of their scores are 27-21,
Yeah.
34-28, that sort of thing. I just don't have a feel for A&M right now, so it's a stay away for me. I don't know. This is a pure stay away. I think Notre Dame is probably better than what they were against Miami, but and I still like their running back, but that's a fairly decent matchup for A&M, who's going to have good guys in the front seven. So I'm stay away. If I had to pick it, I would say that Notre Dame wins, but I can't lay the points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stay away game for me because I like A&M more than I like Notre Dame, but the game's at Notre Dame. I really there was a lot I was a whole lot I didn't like in that Miami game. Yeah, Miami looked good, but I thought Notre Dame kind of looked bad, and that Miami still tried to give it away late, and Notre Dame wasn't good enough to take it. So I just don't love Notre Dame. But home game, like I said, they're not a conference. If they want to go to the college football playoff, this is not really one you can lose. If you're Notre Dame, so I'd probably take Notre Dame to still win the game, but I wouldn't bet this game at all.
Do we do we think that's right? Do we think a loss here for Notre Dame and it's over?
I I don't necessarily know that's accurate 100%, but also there's just at that point there is no more margin for error.
I mean, they've
So
only
like,
got one more marquee game after this, right?
yeah,
10-2 Notre
USC.
Dame's
10-2
getting
Notre
in
Dame,
though.
Southern Cal.
Yeah.
right? A 10-2 Notre Dame goes, but there's just my point is that there would be then no more margin for error. Like this would be,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they have
9-3
to
Notre
run the
Dame does
table.
not get in. 10-2 Notre
No way.
Dame gets in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, last one here. Well, I guess we got a couple last couple games here before we get into our locks. Florida at LSU, Tiger Stadium. That is a night game. We have got Florida is getting 7.5. This game is always weird. Um, it's almost kind of like the equivalent of Ole Miss Kentucky. Just no rhyme or reason. It's always close. Something dumb always happens. Um, Billy Napier is going to have them jacked up, ready to bounce back. LSU is, coming off a sleepy win over La Tech. LSU's starting center is banged up. He might be out. Um, I lean LSU here. Just being at home, better quarterback, better defense. But I'm just out of principle. I'm not touching this game because it's always dumb.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think this is a pros versus Joes game where like
Mhm.
everybody with $20 is going to be like, Florida sucks. Give me LSU no matter the number. And if you've gambled for any amount of time in your life, you know how this plays out. Where suddenly,
Correct.
where late in the fourth quarter, it's like 24-20 Florida, and LSU has no chance of covering, and the win is even in question. I'm not predicting that by any means. The number stinks, man. I I'm of two minds about it. I think that that could have broken Florida last week. That type of loss. Billy survived last year. He came into the last season on the hot seat. Everybody thought his job was in jeopardy. He ends up, you know, finishing strong, beating Ole Miss, of course. Everybody thinks that's going to be a launching pad to this year, and then stumbles right out of the gate against a lesser team. But on the other hand, they still got athletes. They still got Lagway. I still don't know that I trust LSU's defense on the back end, particularly. I think LSU's defensive line is much improved. But Zach said LSU's got injuries up front. I think they may have a couple of injuries up front, Zach. I don't know if the guys are going to play or not, but even if the center plays, he's not going to be 100%. Florida still got some dudes up there, man. They were favored by what, 17 last week against USF?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
The
this is the
The
same
Tyreek
team.
Sapp dude is a beast.
Yeah, I do wonder too if this is a dummy move. Like I don't I wonder, the money came in on Florida hard right out of the gate. I wonder if it's being dummied up by somebody to play back later. Whether that's LSU, I don't know. It just was an interesting move for a team coming off of that loss. I I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Florida hung tough here. I want nothing to do with it though.
Yeah, and
I'm
the total's 48.5.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm gonna lock in Florida plus 7.5 though.
Yeah.
You feel like you kind of
Look,
have to, right?
everything says that LSU would win this game by 14. They go to Clemson and win by a touchdown, and then um, how how good is Clemson? And really and I think Austin was getting at this. How much of this is an overreaction from Florida losing to USF? I didn't watch that game, but I've seen upsets like that happen. Sometimes just weird things happen in games, and where one team should have dominated and maybe even did in the stat line and just lost the game. And Florida may not have done that. I don't. It doesn't really matter to me because I'll tell you what Florida is going to give LSU this week is their best effort of the season to try to get it right. And I
Mhm.
like teams in that spot. And with a low total like that, that tells me that for LSU to cover, they've got to hold Florida to basically no points. And I think Florida will score 2 or 3 times. So give me, if I can get 7.5, get that hook over the 7, I'll take the Gators.
Yeah.
I'll be really interested later in the week to watch the line movement on this one as limits go up the closer we get to the game. I wonder what it looks like Thursday on Friday and Friday. Does this number go below
Hmm.
7, or do we go back up towards 8, which was the opener? Nick,
All
what you
right.
got on it?
Speaking
I
of
try not to.
number,
I try not to opine on LSU. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they're probably a good bit better than Florida. I really almost locked in this under here because I think they're gonna kind of like stop Florida. I just don't know what you're gonna get from Florida. I did not think they were very good last year. I thought they rode some ridiculous hype in the offseason based on the fact that
They beat
they,
us. They beat Ole
yeah,
Miss.
that they beat Ole Miss in a game that, Ole Miss, I mean, if that's the case, Kentucky should have had some hype. I didn't think they were very good last year, and I don't think they're very good this year, but their backs against the wall. It could go one of two ways. They could come out and they will beat LSU, or they will absolutely lay down flat. I just don't know which one it'll be.
I think you'll know early. If you like live betting, I
Yeah,
think you'll know in the first
absolutely.
quarter.
Yeah.
this to me is almost kind of one of those games where it's like, how much do these players like Billy Napier?
Hmm.
Like, are they going to go out and play for
Yeah.
him?
You're exactly right.
Speaking of numbers moving, last one we're going to talk about before we get into our locks. Arkansas at Ole Miss opened at 12 and a half, all the way down to 7, 6.5 in some places. At this point, like I'm just going to see how far this is going to drop until Friday, and then I'll lay them with Ole Miss. Um, Another weird, like we talk about Florida LSU is always weird. Arkansas Ole Miss is always weird. I mean, last year was a complete blowout. Jackson Dart and Jordan Watkins just had themselves a day. Um, and the Ole Miss defense was just absolutely just downright rude to Taylor Green and that Arkansas offensive line. Now, everybody's hyping up Taylor Green now, and look, the dude has played nobody. So let's keep that in mind. Now it's another year in the system with Bobby Petrino, but look, I can't name an Arkansas receiver. I can't name an Arkansas running back. This is kind of one of those like earlier we were talking about Tennessee and Georgia. I'm gonna trust Pete Golding to figure it out once again. And Ole Miss is really good at home. We were talking about this earlier today. Um, in I guess since COVID, so after the 2020 season, Ole Miss is 14 and 3 at home against SEC opponents, including 2020, 27 and 6 overall under Lane Kiffin. Pretty damn good. I don't think that gets talked about enough. That's kind of a sneaky stat that everybody just kind of. I don't. I mean, I don't think people know it, but we know it because we cover Ole Miss. We're all fans of Ole Miss. We went to school there. Whatever. Still, it doesn't matter if it's Ole Miss or if it's Arkansas State. I mean, that's an impressive number. Um, I think Austin Simmons is fine. Now I do think Trinidad Chambliss is going to get some more playing time. One, to keep Simmons fresh, and two, because I think they actually really saw something with him on Saturday. He's got an extra gear. Um, he was able to get around the edge on Kentucky pretty easily. I think they're going to
Natural
use.
runner, man. Natural runner. Great
Yeah,
vision. Yeah.
he
His
yeah
first step is so quick too.
he they were designed runs, and Kentucky knew he was running it, and he was able to get around him easy. Look, the Austin Simmons stuff, he's young, first year guy. Two of the picks that he's had so far this year, he was getting clocked. The one in the Georgia State game, touchdown. I sent y'all the screenshot of where he was throwing the ball to Caden Lee in the Kentucky game. I don't know if it would have been a touchdown. It would have been a long completion if he steps into that throw. It's not an excuse. He's got to clean it up. I don't know if Arkansas has the horses on defense. Um, Look, make all the jokes you want about Stoops in Kentucky and how it's a basketball school, whatever. He's got Kiffin's number, man. I mean, those games are tight. every single time. So he's got something figured out there. Um, but I just don't think Arkansas is going to be able to do it. I'm not saying Ole Miss is going to blow them out by any means, but home game at night, I think Lane Kiffin's going to have this one dialed in, ready to go. Very long-winded analysis here, but I like Ole Miss to I like Ole Miss to cover, especially if it gets below 6.
What do
Um,
we what do we classify as a blowout? Like what qualifies as a blowout?
2 touchdowns,
17.
right?
like 17 or more. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I just think it's more than 2 scores. Like I think it's that third
Yeah,
score
so like
to me.
17, 20 points or more. Yeah.
Mm.
I
Just
think I thought 12.5 was low here. I don't believe in Arkansas. I think their defense is bad. And I think Ole Miss is going to run all over Arkansas, to be honest with you. And I think that,
yeah, I
Zach, I know you just, that not to undermine you because you said I don't think it's a blowout. I think Ole Miss is going to win by more than 2 touchdowns.
well, I great point there because I just did my whole long-winded thing there. I didn't even mention Keywan Lacey, and that dude's for real.
Mhm.
He can do. People need to keep buying him grills. Somebody needs to get him a grill NIL deal.
And look, Taylor and Diggs are too. I mean, I think
Yeah,
they're Lacey's a different dude. Don't get me wrong; he's leading the SEC in rushing. I'm not saying they're the same, but like we, there's not a just dramatic drop off when you go to
no,
two veteran backs. Like this running back room last year, we were a playoff team, right? Like if we had this running back group
yeah.
on last
Probably
year's
win the
roster,
national championship.
You
yeah.
y'all
Oh,
y'all
I don't
might
think.
y'all might laugh here, but you know who Keywan Lacey reminds me of? Maybe a little recency bias, but I do think the gait and running style is very similar.
Go ahead.
He reminds me of Zach Evans.
Oh yeah, no, I
He just
definitely can see
he
that.
just
Yeah,
kind of he just kind of glides. It doesn't look like he's running very hard, but I mean he's motoring. But I mean
yeah.
long strider. He'll run over you like Zach Evans when he was healthy.
Yeah,
He did that too. Um,
it's a good comp. Evans was a little heavier, right? A little
yeah,
heavier, but yeah.
little bit thicker, but
Mm.
Nick, you were there. I thought they were methodical and they stuck to the run game late. And when Ole Miss needed 4 or 5, man, Q and Lacey was pounding in there, man. And they were I I think
Here,
Kiffin likes having that bell cow. Like didn't have it last year.
Yeah.
Loved it when Judkins was there. Loved it when Snoop Connor was there. Um, yeah, I think they found a run game. So I think that good call on that one, Ben. I do think they're gonna lean on Arkansas a little bit, but
I don't think Arkansas is very good up front. This is my thought is um I think that I think that Ole Miss is very possible, and I don't know what the total is, but I don't know how good Arkansas is going to be on offense against Ole Miss either. Like I think we're underselling how good Ole Miss can be on defense against a mobile quarterback. Like because that's where I mean, yeah, Ole Miss has some beef on the inside, but there's a lot of speed on the outside on defense. And guys, the defense played good against Kentucky. All Ole Miss needs to cover 12.5 even. I'm going to lock in 7. If it goes to 6.5, I really want it at the 110 number. But at 7, I'm still going to lock that in. I think Ole Miss, I would have locked in 12.5. All Ole Miss has to have is for Austin Simmons not to like just turn the ball over on Ole Miss's side of the field. If Ole Miss will just play field position ball, they'd beat Arkansas, I don't know, 27-10 or something. Like it'd be boring. It'd look like the Georgia game. I say boring in quotations. It wouldn't be flashy, high powered Kiffin style, but it would look like the Georgia game last year. I don't
yeah,
think Arkansas has the dynamic playmakers to overcome the speed that Ole Miss has on defense.
I
Your
think a
point of
couple
go
things. I,
ahead.
I think we kind of get on the offensive line for not being good at pass blocking. I They're not great at pass blocking, but they're two totally different things, right?
no
You can be a
sacks.
very good run blocking team without being a very good pass blocking team. And I also think that Kiffin is sort of a troll. I mean, that's not any, obvious to anybody. I think he likes spamming the run plays. Like I think it's sort of fun to him to be like, you sure you want this again? And then just run it again. I think that's his thing. He enjoys that. So him having because it's not Yeah, okay. It was fun to score 63 last year on Arkansas, but it's not
Oh
nearly
my
as fun
God,
to
it was
just
so much fun.
it was a lot of fun. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, if you can do that every game, that's great. But you rarely can pass for 7, 8, 9 touchdowns in a game often. But you can press the run button. And if you're getting 7, 8 yards of carry with somebody like Ewan Lacey, he's gonna do it. And I think he enjoys that. I really think this is like a 34-17 game. I think it's gonna be a little bit more high scoring than Ben thinks, but I don't think that Taylor Green all of a sudden grew an arm. Um, or grew
No,
the ability to have touch in his passes. This is his 5th year. This is his 2nd year at Arkansas, so it's not like he's just figuring out the SEC or something like that. He's had tons of time. He was not great passing the ball last year. I mean, looking at his numbers, he was 15-9 touchdowns to interceptions. That's over the course of the entire season. That's with 3 or 4 or 5
guys, if we had a
non-conference
quarterback
games.
throw for 15 touchdowns in the whole season, I would want to fire the entire coaching staff.
I, I mean, we had a quarterback throw for 7 against Arkansas last year. So I mean, or six or 7, whatever it was. But yeah, he's not going to all of a sudden start, being able to throw the ball. I think our defense is really good. I think we struggle, and Golding has struggled with passers who can throw the ball pretty well. I think if you're just, excuse me, runners who can throw the ball pretty well. If you're just a runner, which I think kind of Lenore Sellers kind of is, I think the Taylor Green kind of is, we're really good at it. What we struggle with was whenever we're playing, DJ Lagway and he could throw the ball a little bit. We didn't struggle last year at all with Taylor Green. We didn't struggle at all with Lenore Sellers. We're playing Taylor Green again this year, and I think the defense maybe better in the back half. I mean, it's probably not better up front, but it's still very good. I don't see them doing anything different. The only reason they scored 31 last year is because we didn't really care, right? We just wanted to get the ball back on the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the reasons we bottle up runners is because Perkins at
Yeah,
linebacker.
they'll just
I
spy
mean,
him.
good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with y'all. I on the rewatch, and again, whenever I watch a game live, I'm as down on our offensive line play, I think, as anybody that's ever watched an offensive line play. But
Austin was a total meltdown
yeah,
Oh
last
man,
and
it
night.
was
granted,
Austin
it
bites
was
his phone while he texts us.
in fairness, I was literally watching a soccer game and my phone at the same time. So, um, but look, pass pro, like Nick said, we're still not great there. And look, the worst part about that is that we give up pressure on the interior. Like if our
oh
tackles were bad, that's one thing you can step up in the pocket and at least give your quarterback a fighting chance.
Correct. You
But
can't do anything.
you can't do anything when pressure comes up the fucking gut, man. That's what we
Yeah.
got to fix. Like lay down, trip them, hold them. I don't care. Like make them throw the
something.
flag. Make them throw the flag 10 times in a row on you. It worked for Micah Pettis. Like hold them if you have to. Like let Austin Simmons step into a throw every now and then.
You can't run over
Now,
everybody in this league.
in the run game, I think we got better when Townsend went in the game against
Oh,
Kentucky.
there's no doubt. No
Yeah,
doubt.
I
yeah.
actually kind of like him. I think he's got a ton of upside.
Large,
He's a good player.
large
Yeah,
human.
large human. So maybe we're getting a little healthier there. Maybe we get Therese Davis, the Maryland kid. I don't know if he's going to play much, even if he was healthy. But just having another warm body would be nice. Does Luke Haas come
Just
back? I think that's an interesting question.
just an interjection real quick, but maybe Kudus is going to be good against his former team. Maybe Patrick
Yeah,
Kudus.
yeah. Anything is
Judas,
possible.
Guys,
Patrick Judas.
this is I'm not go ahead, Austin. I'll let you finish before I
Sorry.
say this.
Look, if speaking of offensive linemen and Arkansas offensive linemen, if there's a player prop on a personal foul by Fernando Carmona, like play that and put your mortgage payment on it. Like, dude has been fucking mad about last year's ass whipping all offseason. He's talking about it on Arkansas podcast. Like, he's gonna try to kill somebody, like maybe literally try to kill somebody at some point during the
You,
game. So
you think that he's
watch for
most
that.
mad because we didn't offer him
Yeah, he's
to come
mad
down
because
here with the rest of his
Kiffin didn't try
guys?
to get him.
Yeah, he's the one dude on Arkansas's roster we didn't go after. Uh, I think I'm with Nick on this. Like, I, I think I think we bottle them up, but they're going to get some. I mean, look, they're going to get high teens, low 20s. I mean, Petrino's offense is really effective, and Green is a good runner. He's an athlete. I think the lines of scrimmage we're going to dominate. I think it is going to be a heavy run, though. We may play a little keep away. So I think it's something like 31-17, 31-20. I think we cover. I think it probably goes under here. 61's a big number, man.
That's
They were,
big. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, I'm locking in the under. Wow.
yeah, that's a big number.
What
I
is it?
think
Dude,
61.
Ben loves the board this week.
He does spray the board, man.
Dude, Ben's a blue blood special. He's picked UGA, Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss.
All blue bloods.
Florida's a
is
blue
this
blood these days. It's been 15 years since they've been
Good
good.
point.
is
He
this
does.
the
He is on the
is this the
favorite
first
UGA, Clemson, Ole
time?
Miss.
Is this the first time on the show where I'm outnumbered and thinking that Ole Miss is gonna blow somebody out, or I guess manhandle a team?
Maybe. Oh, look, we got to mention, by the way, Deuce Alexander's a weapon, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's so
Good player.
fast.
All
yeah.
right. I was going to say this. So, Kentucky game last week, Ole Miss's, I don't know what the score was. Maybe it was 17-13, and had to kick a field goal because Keelan Lacey scored and they called holding.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
We've had a couple of inopportune timed penalties on big plays. Now, I'm not saying he would have scored but for the holding. I have no idea.
And
I don't
that
know
was
if that's
a terrible call.
okay. See, I
It
couldn't,
was holding, but
I
it was
wasn't paying
behind the
attention.
play. It was holding, but it had nothing to do with the run. Nothing.
Yeah. So, like, I guess my point is you go up 24-13 there. That's a
Totally different
different
ballgame.
feel. That's correct. So, I think that Nick said it. Ole Miss had like a 95 or 96% chance of winning against Kentucky that entire game, something like that. And
Yeah,
I
post game
think
win
that
expectancy was 96%.
I think we've got a lot of false market correction. Like the money's wrong here. Crashing this number down. That 12 and a half was the right number. And I think Ole Miss would have covered that. Like, I mean, not to beat a dead horse. Also, I think Arkansas may have one good receiver, but who else does he throw into? I don't know of any type of elite talent they have on their team. Like even last year, they had what was his name, Landon Jackson or something on defense.
Mhm.
Was that the guy's name? Like
They had a
you could at least
good
look
running
at
back.
somebody and be like, that's a good player.
Yeah.
That now they've got the quarterback and who?
The running backs that transfer from New Mexico State,
They
and
got
like
the
looking back at last year's schedule, they're up and down, up and down. I mean, they go in there and they win that that kind of epic game against Tennessee early in the season, and they come out the next week and just get bludgeoned at home by LSU. They beat Mississippi State, and then they come back and play us. I don't.
Maybe they
It's
beat
not like
Tennessee
they
because
play
Tennessee
really
really
hard for
didn't have.
Pittman.
Maybe Tennessee didn't have the talent that you know what I'm saying. Like I know they made the playoff. I get it, but
Have y'all seen? Did y'all know this was a controversy? This is news to me. Apparently, after the game last year, Sam Pittman strongly implied that we had their signals, and now they're revisiting that this
That's the
year.
first I've heard of that.
I had no idea. Yeah. So
It
good.
would make sense. We sure had their number.
Steal them more.
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what signal we could have needed
have
to
better
just throw
signals.
60-yard bombs to Jordan Watkins every play. Like
right.
Right.
Yeah, I
it's not
don't
like
think
we
What was the
stopped
signal?
them.
Run past their last defender. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't. It
what
wasn't.
were we calling?
It wasn't like they were just dialing up these convoluted plays. It was just like, hey, Jordan, just go run to the fucking field goal post.
He's exactly right. Yeah, and also good luck for them, I guess. I don't know how much they can change. How many different options you have on signals? We have three of their players from last year, so I'm not saying that we're going to have their signals again, but like, there's only so many ways you can skin that cat.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple locks and I got to get off. Let's roll.
All right.
Yeah, I got a good one here.
I got some I can throw y'all right now. I'm gonna
Yeah, you got
go South Florida, Miami under 56 and a half. I'm gonna go Kentucky minus
like that.
22 and a half.
Who's Kentucky play? Remind me of that.
Eastern
Eastern,
Michigan.
who lost to Long Island
I was about to
How is
say
that?
this weekend.
to
That's not
lay
Teams,
22 and a
disrespectful.
half with Kentucky. Wow. After
But they
last
lost to
week,
LIU, like the Sharks, like
teams
The
that
Sharks, yeah.
lose in a college football game as favorites of 19 and a half points or more have gone just 42-67 straight up in the next game since 2012. So do not think Eastern Michigan, what are they? The Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah,
Thought about it, but then I'm like, man, I don't know. Kentucky will bounce back here and get a dub at home. I got the South Carolina Gamecocks. I'm laying 5 there. South Carolina's 16-0 straight up and 8-1-1 against the spread versus Vanderbilt. As of late, I know that they beat the hell out of Virginia Tech, but I think Virginia Tech might just suck ass.
This
And
Yeah,
also might be a good spot for South Carolina because of that.
it is, and I just read the stat. I just think the Gamecocks have Vandy's number. Um, I've been
Where's
to
that game?
it's in
South
Columbia.
Carolina.
Yeah, I'll join you. I'll lay those. You can actually get 5.
Night, yeah, I got it at 5. Night
Yeah.
game. It's sold out. Dude, they're gonna get after Diego Pavia. And look, man, no one gives a shit about you being on a Netflix show. Like it's over, bud. Like you had your fun at Lane Stadium, but dude, they're Dylan Stewart's gonna fucking be up that back of that jersey all night.
this is not. This is has nothing to do with your bet. This is I was on Virginia Tech last week, so I just should note
So was I.
Virginia Tech led 20-10 at halftime and lost fucking 44-20. What
Imagine
are we
having
doing? What are we doing?
imagine having 34 hung on you and a half by Vanderbilt.
By Vandy,
What are we
a triple
doing?
option offense,
That's
basically.
some Houston nut. That's like Houston
Yeah,
nut right
that
there.
was pathetic.
Theoretically, you're supposed to back a team at a certain number, right? Like if you just bet the number, forget the team, bet the number. I can't bet Virginia Tech again this year. They fucked me twice already, and that last one, I can't. Like that's 44-20.
They're
I'm
firing their coach,
going.
like dead man walking.
I want to add one in
Yeah.
here. Speaking of blue bloods, I'm going to lay 27 with Mizzou over Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
Walker
one.
Howard's out for the year. It's kind of a bummer. I mean,
Yeah.
I transferred away from Ole Miss. He scored a touchdown in that horrible loss to Rice in week 1, like 14-12 or 12-11, something like that. And then
This opened at
he's out for the
21
year.
and a half.
What is it now?
It opened 21 and a half. It's now at 27, but I'm still going to lay them. Like
Um,
Missouri's killing people right now.
Yeah.
And look, they
They're
actually dominated Kansas more than the box score would indicate last
Mm.
week. They gave Kansas what, a 16-0 head start or something?
Yes,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Rick rolled them after
Yeah.
that.
I got two more. Texas
Sorry,
State.
Zach, I'm interrupting you.
No, you're fine. Texas State, Arizona State, under 59 and a half.
I thought you were going where I was going.
Yeah, Arizona State's 15-3-1 to the under in non-conference games since 2019. It'll just be a methodical win over Texas State. No big deal. They'll bounce back. And then I'm also laying 21 and a half with Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing Kent State. Kent State
Worst team in the country.
got beat 62-14 by Texas Tech last week.
That was, by the way, they did not lose via the spread. The spread was 48 on that one.
Teams playing at home in conference games and coming off a blowout loss by more than 45 points are just 45-74 against the spread since 2010.
That's a crazy stat. There's that many teams that have been 45-point dogs.
That is disgusting. Yeah, I'm
They're
with
so
you.
bad. You ride against them. I'm with you on that one too. Buffalo minus 21.5. Ride that game every week until Kent State finally comes.
Yeah, fade Kent State. And yeah.
I'm also going to jump on with Ben with Mizzou. I don't believe Louisiana has a pulse without Walker Howard. And like he said, like the Bo Perbula kid is, dude. Drinkwitz is going to let him throw as many touchdowns as he can until he can't, because he knows the drill. All right, I'm done.
Yep. Who's up?
Austin, you up?
I've done several locks. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the show to put them in. I'm gonna take one more here. I am going to bet the Southern Miss Golden Eagles plus 2.5
Yes.
against App State, who this is not your fathers or brothers or uncles or whatever App State anymore. App State opened this year. Well, they played last week. They beat Lindenwood 20-13. And they beat Charlotte 34-11, which you'd be like, okay, well, that's not that bad. Well, Charlotte got blown out by North Carolina, and we know how bad they are. So I'm going to take the Southern Miss Golden Eagles at home, coming off the big win over Alcorn State or Jackson State or whoever it was, and to go to win another one. Give me the well, really don't have to win. Just lose by a couple points. USM plus 2.5.
Love it.
Yeah, I like that. All right, you ready?
I may go winless this week, to be honest with you.
Don't say that.
It's not possible with all the picks you've got. Like you have to win one game. You
I've won.
scrape the board.
I've got like 25 locks. Come on. I didn't even like the slate. Go ahead.
Let's go backyard brawl. Pitt laying 7 at West Virginia. I know long-term road favorites in a rivalry like this are not profitable. I understand. West Virginia lost their starting running back last week. I think they lost their starting middle linebacker. They lost on the road at Ohio. Pitt -7 against West Virginia. I think this is a beatdown. Rich Rod is not going to contend in his first year. They just don't have the horses. Let's go to
Nick's over there.
East Carolina,
ready
Coastal
to
Carolina.
roll.
Give me ECU laying the 7 and a hook. Coastal Carolina is bad, really bad. ECU has actually showed some signs of life. Probably should have deserved or maybe deserved a better result in week 1 against North Carolina State. Really hung tough. Came back in the second half, lost there at the end. I think East Carolina is far and away better than Coastal. This number is crazy to me. This should be more like 10.5, if not 13.5. 7.5 is that's a layup.
ECU been showing signs of life in the DMs earlier this year.
They have. That's true. All right. Ole Miss connection there. Let's see what else we got. Ohio State, Ohio over 52. Ohio State's going to get 45 themselves. Ohio can score a little bit. I just need 10, 14, and we coast over that 52. I'm going to fade this team just because they've killed me this year. So this might not be the one to follow if you're tailing me because this is a spite bet. ODU +7 in the hook at Virginia Tech. Who the fuck is Virginia Tech to lay 7.5 to anybody?
To Old Dirty, no less.
All right, let's see. Last,
Austin's gonna write a strongly worded letter to Brent Pry.
To Kyron Drones. Duke Tulane. Give me Duke at pick here. What would this number have been if Duke hadn't gotten just absolutely wood chippered last week?
This is a crazy line to me.
It's Duke pick. Duke was -5 in turnovers last week. That's part of the reason the score was as bad as it was against Illinois. And I was on Illinois -3, so I'm not a Illinois hater at all. I just think Duke is better than they showed last week. I think they're better than Tulane. So pick here. And this is a homecoming for Darian Mensah going back to Tulane. Last two, and these numbers aren't posted yet, so we're gonna have to guess, and maybe y'all have them posted. I want both the UAB team total over and the Boston College team total over, whatever those numbers are. UAB should be like 33.5, 34, something like that implied. Give me over there. Stanford is going to be, I don't know, what's that quick math, Nick? Team total implied there. I'm sorry, Boston College team total implied would be 44 divided by 2 is 22 plus 6 is 28 in the hook is what we think. Anything 28.5. Yeah.
28-16, 28. Yeah, probably 27, probably 28 flat.
Anything under 30 on Boston College team total, go over that. Their quarterback is actually pretty good.
Did you watch the highlights from their game last week?
Yeah, they should have won.
Dude.
So worry you about BC going west, though?
No, not against Stanford. If they're playing anybody else, I might be a little concerned, but not against Stanford.
Dude, that BC Michigan State game was awesome.
Yeah. And then if we're gonna we doing money lines?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, so Duke's in a pick'em with Tulane, and people think that Tulane's going to go to Oxford and like potentially win?
Right.
Exactly.
What kind of world are we living in?
John Summerall, baby.
Former Alabama quarterbacks think that. So New Mexico, UCLA. No. plus 463. Give me New Mexico outright against UCLA. Plus 463. UCLA is terrible. New Mexico's got a new coach.
I see it 475, by the way.
475. Love it. One more dart throw on the money line. Scrolling down. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here with people are gonna be, what the fuck are you talking? Washington State, North Texas. I don't know. North Texas has improved from last year. Washington State can't be +6 on the road. They're gonna be +182 for the Cougs. And I think that's it.
What was the other one you said?
New Mexico.
Plus 475.
Yeah, that's a big number, so don't go crazy with it. But I just think UCLA is a bad football team.
I got one dart throw money line.
What was
Tulsa at home
the
plus 430 against
Who are
Navy.
they playing?
Navy.
Okay.
wait, who what was the Wazoo money line?
185.
Yeah,
Okay.
185.
And then you want who, Ben?
Tulsa plus 430 at home against Navy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Is Navy not any good?
I don't know if they are or aren't. I just Service
Just
Academy
Service Academy. Yeah, variance is really high in those games.
and their talent's not going to be that much better than Tulsa. Probably be worse.
Yeah. I don't have a money line, but I'm adding another one here. I'm gonna go Utah, Wyoming under 49. Um, man, I don't know. I might circle back. It's the only reason I'm thinking under is because it's up there at the Pokes place, and that place is weird. But I might circle back because Utah's quarterback is legit. The Dampier kid can play. It's just I don't know.
Speaking of dart throws, maybe put $20 on Dampier Heisman ticket.
Hmm. Yeah. Don't hate it. Utah going to Wyoming at War Memorial. Um, yeah, up in Laramie, man. It's bizarre. What's the elevation at?
7,200 feet, isn't it?
7220.
7,220.
You up there.
Yeah.
But
that's
Utah's no stranger to it, but I mean it's
Yeah.
just a weird place in Laramie. I could see that being a 35-3 game. Just methodical.
Yeah.
All right, I've talked myself back into it because I thought for a second I was like, well, they got Dampier, he might just do the damn thing up there. But um, has everybody got a money line pick
Yeah,
in?
Nick needs to go,
I
right?
got a couple. I got a couple more. I really honestly do not like the board a lot. I really don't. I'm gonna leave you guys. Austin's got a baker's dozen of picks over here, so I'm gonna leave that to you guys. I'm gonna add. I'm on Buffalo minus 21 and a half. I'm gonna add Oregon minus 27 and a half. They're going to Northwestern.
Hell yeah.
The total's low. The total's 48 and a half. Oregon's good. Northwestern's not good. There's, going to be 1,800 people at this game, whatever it is. I just think Oregon, they can turn off the Jets in the second quarter, and I still don't think that they can win by less than 4 scores. So minus
Their
20 and a
backups
half.
would win by 4 scores.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know it's a road game, and maybe Oregon's looking ahead to somebody else coming up soon. I know they've got some big games coming up in the month of September, but I still think that 27 points for Oregon after what they've done. I mean, talk about the class of so what we've seen so far, and that they've been pretty good. I'm also I really like West Virginia +7 this week. I'm not going to go against Austin. He's got Pitt -7. West Virginia went to Ohio last week. It was Ohio's Super Bowl. They lost that game. They're not very good. I think they might have been looking forward to the backyard brawl that coming up this week. They're going to have all their eggs in that basket. So I'm not putting West Virginia +7. I'm going to take them on the money line as my money line sprinkle. Just like a half unit. I don't necessarily think they're going to beat Pitt, but I mean, crazier things have happened, up in the mountains. And then my last one is Minnesota going across country. They're at Cal. They're -1.5. It opened at 3.5. I think Minnesota's just a lot better than Cal. Cal lost a lot of players off last year. I mean, they obviously lost quarterback, both running backs. I just think Minnesota's a pretty decent team, better coached. That's all I've got. I just really don't.
I think I think
Not
I
my favorite lines.
I think I locked in that Oregon at the beginning of the show, and if I didn't, I want to tell that and include that lock
Yeah.
with me. I'm pretty sure I did. I think that's the
We'll add
best
it.
line of the week. I know that sounds crazy at 27.5, but
Yeah.
Northwestern is
Dude,
but
Oregon,
they are
Oregon minus
cheeks.
Oregon minus 28.5 last week was a lock.
Oh my God.
Oklahoma State is just putrid.
The problem with Oregon is like they can't not blow you out. Like if you suck, the way that their offense works, you're gonna get ran. Like
Oh, right
it's
now,
just
yeah.
gonna happen.
Well, they got some dudes now. I mean that Decorian Moore kid, the freshman is special.
And they also beat Montana State 59-13 first week. I would almost guarantee, not guarantee, but Montana State Northwestern will be a very good football
Yeah, it would. It
game. A
would.
very
Montana
good
State may
game.
be able to beat Northwestern
Yeah.
on the right
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
This game's at 11 o'clock. There will be negative atmosphere there in Lakefront Stadium.
It'll be like running past skeleton at practice
Mm.
for Oregon.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be like there'll be more hype high school games in
Oh,
Chicago in the
without
Chicagoland
a
area.
doubt.
Last two I'm adding here, and then we'll get out of here. Jacksonville State money line plus 150,
I liked it.
and MTSU money line Nevada.
I was gonna
I
play
like
that.
that.
I just think the travel's too far.
Yeah, I'm just gonna just a shot. Like don't put a lot, just a half unit. I don't know. Derek Mason.
I don't hate it.
I know being a good guy doesn't make you a good football coach, but I feel like he's gonna get some here and there. Like he seems to be doing all the right things in Murfreesboro. It's just a hard job. All right, that is
Uh,
gonna do it.
one
Good
last
Lord.
word. One
Okay.
last word, if you guys don't mind. Sorry, while I've got you here. Alabama plays Wisconsin. You should not put actual money on this. But Wisconsin plus 1100, just like a nickel on that, just like a
Is it in
dollar. See what
Tuscaloosa?
happens.
It's in
It's in
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa.
No.
This guy's
It's
drunk as
plus
just
1100.
Venmo me the money. He's
It's
drunk as
plus.
hell.
No. Don't put that on the sheet. Don't put. I don't want it in
You
the paper
wildin'.
that I bet that.
You
But
wildin' right
it's a
now.
thought. It's a thought.
You've got a
If
better chance of winning the Mega Millions by spending $100 in Mega Millions tickets than you do that Wisconsin beating Alabama in
don't
Tuscaloosa.
don't put it on the
Hey,
sheet. I'm just saying it's plus 1100.
I'm not saying Wisconsin can win, but Ryan Williams is still in concussion protocol, right?
That I don't know.
I don't care if it,
I
yeah,
mean,
I
I
mean,
I know. I'm just
Probably
saying,
doesn't.
like they
You
they
could
got
have
to
a
figure
brain injury and still play against
they
Wisconsin.
gotta figure that out, or Ty Simpson's not gonna have anybody to throw to.
that
All
was funny.
right. Well, all right. That'll do it. Yeah. So big week last week. Um, back over 500. Shout out everybody for tuning in. If you tailed us, hope you had fun last weekend. Get some good drinks. Um, yeah. Lexington. I 5 stars. Great place. Had a lot of fun. Very clean. Shout out to folks at the Manchester. It's a very elite hotel there. So if you know of anybody going to Lexington, tell them to stay there. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. For Nick, for Ben, for Austin, I'm Zach. This has been Hit That Line with Legal Gambling Counsel. We will be back next week to hopefully recap another big time winner week for us. So we will be back with you for week 4. Stay safe out there. Until next time, we out of here.